guys, so today I wanted to do, I guess, like an update on my anxiety because I haven't done that in a super long time. I feel like starting off my channel, I actually started my channel partly due to anxiety, and I've talked about it quite a bit, and a lot of you guys have really enjoyed when I talk about it because it makes you feel related to, or you just like to hear about it, or want to see how I'm doing, and I thought I would do an update. So and I'm pretty sure I talked about this in 2017. I got diagnosed with a fast heart rate, and since then my anxiety, I guess, has been getting better. I've got on medicine for my heart rate, and then in around September, October of 2017, I was put on anxiety medication, and since then I've been taking that. So I did try a few different ones to see what worked best for me and my dosage and everything. And so after about 2 months, 3 months, I found what worked for me. So now I take an anxiety pill every single day, or every night, that kind of keeps me balanced. So that is what I take every day. I've been taking it for 2 years now, and it keeps me really balanced. It has helped tremendously, and now with that, I don't want to like recommend you guys like everyone needs medication. Like, they don't. Some anxiety is completely natural, healthy, normal. It's when your anxiety gets in the way of your everyday life. Like, my anxiety was so bad in the summer of 2017, I couldn't leave the house. I went on vacation and cried myself to sleep every night. I couldn't leave the house we were staying in. My anxiety was so bad, I was paralyzed in my life. And at that point, I realized that I had been to therapy and I had talked about so many things in my life, but nothing was helping. So it had to be a balance in my brain. It had to be. And obviously it was, because the medication is helping so much. Now, with that being said, although I do take a medication for my anxiety every day to keep me balanced for normal everyday things, like I told you guys, when I used to get anxiety really bad, I'd have a panic attack in the line at the grocery store, like waiting at a red light. Like, I'm very claustrophobic in any situation where I feel like I'm kind of stuck, not just physically, but even like just like in a crowd, anything. Like, I would just feel so terrible. I'd have panic attacks, like I said, going through the grocery store, like waiting in line at the post office when there's like one person in front of me. Like, my everyday anxiety pill helps with those situations. Now I also have an anxiety pill for panic attacks, for when that pill that keeps me balanced isn't enough, for kind of the moments where other people might have anxiety that kind of stops them. Like, say you don't have anxiety every day, you don't have generalized anxiety, but you get anxious about public speaking, that's the other kind of pill I have for moments like that. I haven't taken one in a while. I mean, I recently did, and that's why I kind of wanted to come up with this video, but before this week, I hadn't taken one of my like special anxiety pills probably in over 6 to 8 months, when I had gone on a first date once over the summer. I don't know, it was a very long time ago actually. I hadn't been taking that, and I was feeling so much better. Like, I was feeling really good. My anxiety has been super, super, super good, and I've just been feeling so kind of clear and focused. I've been doing so well lately until this past week. I got sick, and I haven't been sick in quite a while. Just, I guess I've been lucky this year. I got a flu shot and things, so I've been feeling pretty good, but in the last week I ended up getting pretty sick, and it was just kind of like a whole episode, because for me, I'm sure if you guys have been on my channel for a while, if you don't know this, I'll kind of rush through it, but my anxiety actually started when I had mono in college. I had gotten mono, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with mono, it's a little bit different for everyone, but for me, it was that I'd go to school feeling fine, and halfway through the day I'd feel miserable, like fever, like panicky, kind of like that fever that's just so bad, and it would be on and off all the time. So that was, I want to say, my sophomore year of college, where I didn't do well in school. I had to drop a lot of classes because I missed so much time because I was so sick, but not steadily. So it wasn't like you're sick for 2 weeks and you get better. My mono was like, I was fine for a couple of days and then terrible for a couple of days. And because of that, I never knew how I'd feel, and my anxiety kind of built on that. So I'd get so nervous going into school that I'd start feeling sick. And so I kind of avoided things, and I stopped doing things because of the anxiety that came with the sickness, if that makes sense. So even now, living with this being 6 years ago, my body still reacts to being sick that way. So I had mono and then mono relapse for almost 2 years there. I was struggling with that. So now when I get sick, even something minor, I kind of react in this irrational way with my anxiety. So I got sick the other day. I was actually at my boyfriend's, which kind of made it worse because he hadn't really seen me sick before, and he hadn't really seen me panic before. And when you're sick at home, it's one thing, but when you're sick away from home, it's another thing. And he doesn't live super close, so I do have to drive to get there, and I have driven there, and now leaving, like when I didn't feel good, it was just kind of like, it was just getting bad. And being sick kind of brought on more anxiety for me. So what happened was I was there, I was with him, and I was kind of not feeling great. I had a headache on and off, but I kind of pushed it. I kind of thought, I'm just like, getting too anxious about not feeling good. I'm not actually feeling that bad. But by the next morning, I felt terrible. Like I had a sinus headache that was so bad I could barely sit up. I'd get really dizzy. And when you feel like that and your anxiety is brought on by being sick, your anxiety goes through the roof, and I just felt so scared that, I know it sounds so rational, but if you have anxiety, you understand, it makes you feel like you're never gonna feel better. Like that kind of sickness makes you feel like, I'm just gonna feel like this forever. It just like, it stuck with you, and you're like, I'm never gonna get away from this feeling. I feel so terrible, and this is just how it's gonna be always. And that's kind of what stuck with me. And then because that sickness brought back my anxiety, which I haven't had in so long, I felt even worse. And I was like, oh my god, now my anxiety's back, and it's gonna be back. Like this is full-time anxiety again. Like I'm not better. And all of that kind of came to the surface at once, and I actually started crying, and I had like a mini panic attack. It wasn't my worst panic attack ever, but I did, and it kind of made it worse because I was in front of my boyfriend for the first time. I didn't need him to see me like that. I mean, I do think it kind of brought us closer, I guess, but at the same time, like, it was so bad to the point where when I wanted to leave and I thought I felt a little bit better, I went to the car and I felt so much worse. I actually had to call my parents to come and get me, which feels horrible knowing that you're like an adult and you have to do those kinds of things, but it kind of let me realize, like, okay, my anxiety isn't totally gone. There are going to be triggers that bring up my anxiety, but I'm feeling better now. It's been almost a week since that day, and I'm definitely feeling better. I still have a bit of like a sinus situation. I'm on antibiotics and a bunch of stuff because I obviously was sick, and I got a steroid shot and like everything, and I'm feeling better, but at the same time, like, there's that little hint of like, oh my god, the anxiety, like, it just kind of makes you realize that, like, even when you're doing super well, like, you can fall back, and not in a bad way, but just in a, you don't have to be great all the time when you have a mental illness. It's something that you kind of always have. You can have good times and bad times, but I guess I kind of realized, like, once it's in you, like, it's in you, and it's okay to kind of fall back sometimes and give into that. And I think that for so long now I've been feeling so well that I didn't want to give into it. I didn't want to say, okay, let me cancel plans because I'm feeling anxious or sick. Like, I just want to power through because that's what I've been learning to do. I've been adjusting, and I've been not avoiding things for my anxiety, and I wanted to keep doing that. But sometimes you do kind of just have to take a break and say, okay, you know what, I've been doing really well. I deserve to kind of take a time off from activities and just kind of do nothing. And yeah, I guess I wanted to come on here to kind of, it was like a story time, I guess, but also, like, I wanted to let you guys know about how my anxiety is doing and kind of check in with you guys. I know a lot of you struggle with anxiety, and I know anxiety is different for everyone. Like, just saying the term anxiety is so, like, generalized. Why does my nose look so crooked? I'm sorry, but, like, I'm sorry. I don't know why I got so distracted, but yeah, I know this video, I don't know how helpful this is. I just wanted to kind of share what's going on with me and my anxiety, and kind of let you guys know that it doesn't have to define you, and these moments can happen, and it doesn't turn back the clock. It doesn't delete all the good days you've had. So that's kind of, I guess, when I was in my panic attack mode, that's how it felt. It felt like now the last 2 years of me feeling good was like all down the drain and I have to start over. Like, that's not really true. You can have like a rewind or a step back and take 2 steps forward. Like, you can. Like, I can get back to where I was like a month ago. I was doing so fantastic, and then this happened and I felt so defeated by the anxiety that I didn't have control over. But that's the thing, is when you have anxiety, you kind of have to let go of that control in order to take the power back over it. I feel like I feel like I sound so, like, not how I want to sound, but I just want to let you guys know that having anxiety is not the end of the world. I know it feels like that. Like, I know, like, I've been in a point where I thought my anxiety was making me depressed because I was avoiding so much stuff and interaction and, leaving the house, So I just wanted you guys to know that, you know, it's okay to have anxiety and you're not alone and these things happen and you can power through after. You know, take that time, let it kind of be sucky, like let yourself feel bad. And I know my boyfriend's probably not going to watch this, but I just really appreciate that when I did have this moment of intense panic and illness, he was really there for me and didn't, you know, I can tell he was worried, but he didn't, you know, freak out really. He just kind of let me be what I needed to be in that moment. And it really made me appreciate him even more, and made me realize that having anxiety kind of, I don't want to say brings you closer to people, but it really lets you know how people treat you and understand you and like want you to feel better. Yeah, so that is it for this kind of anxiety update. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe to see more from me, and make sure you leave me comments down below of other videos you want to see lately. Any anxiety tips, or, you know, on anything, beauty, whatever. Just let me know if you guys have any video requests, and I'll be happy to do them. So, thanks for watching.